And this is why we should all be prepared. Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Happy Saturday, guys. Today we're going to jump right into our news, comments, and reports. Hopefully you all are having a great weekend. This is Shauna, and I'm officially checking in over here at Moments with Us. You guys check in, let us know where you are watching from and how you are doing. So let's go ahead firstly and foremost and see what you all are talking about in the comments, because there's been some great discussions going on in the comments, and we're actually going to touch on that right about now. See exactly what's going on. Someone did mention medications coming in at it. Even with tomatoes, this is not usual. I mean, I know we be low over here in my parts of New Jersey, but all right, fam. So let's go ahead and pull up some of these comments and see what y'all talking about. The video that's playing in the background is just an older video that you can find on my channel of us going to Dollar Tree around Christmas time. So let's go ahead and see what is going on. If you haven't checked in by now, check in. Let us know where you are checking in from. All right, so from Jennifer, went ahead and shared. There are those who are saying there's no food shortages and that stores are making a fortune putting items on the floor the way that they are to feed into the hype. Yes, there are specific items which are shortages, but others are being priced up because store owners know we are on edge and, are very willing to buy. Think about this. Maybe look into it and make a video. There's a merit to my comment. Hey. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And you know what? There are some points to your statement, and I definitely can agree. And I also know that the shelf spaces are rented out, believe it or not. Some of the shelf spaces are rented out. So when a company decides, well, like, hey, we're not going to go ahead and give the product, but yet we still own that space. They're not allowed to put nothing else there on the shelf. So when we do return this item, we can go ahead and mark the price up, And whatever items are there, people are, like you just said, people are willing to buy it. So companies do have to pay like a slotting fee in order to place their items on the shelf of a grocery store. That can indeed be a possibility of why there are so many empty shelves in some stores. Why there is actual shortages, we all know and we all seen it. But when you look at it like, well, one day, this item isn't here, and I go back 2 days from now and they have they have it full of it too, and then the price is up. It does make you wonder. So Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing that in the comments. Regardless, if you can't find it on the shelf and it's not there, that item have fallen short on the shelf. So most of the time, if I see something and I know that it's stockpile worthy, and especially if that item is on sale, I grab it. And that's just personally how I move when I shop. So while we do run into stores in my parts of New Jersey, a high crime, I guess, kind of area where I reside, a lot of items are locked up. So Mama's Heart is Full. So Mama's Heart is Full did come through and share. If things get locked up where I live, I'll just order it online. I'm not about to waste my time and energy hunting someone down to unlock a cabinet. If these companies wouldn't charge an arm and a leg, maybe the theft rate wouldn't be so high. Thank you. My plan is to save up and make a huge haul on Amazon in July on Prime Day. I'm fed up with these prices. You know what? Thank you very much, because this is something that I say too. I think I said this in a video before. Somebody tried to go back and forth with me, but it is what it is. I feel how I feel, and it is what it is. I believe that in certain areas, prices are ridiculous. Yes, they're gonna have to go ahead and lock things up. Yes, if people keep stealing. But I've said this also plenty of times. Even people who wouldn't even think to steal can't afford things, And guess what? They're now slipping things into their cart or whatever. No, it's not right. No, there's no excuse. But it's definitely true. The more that the prices go up, the more that people become what we know it as thieves, unfortunately. And it really sucks because families are struggling. Families are becoming desperate. And when people get desperate, what happens? People do desperate things. And it is what it is. With the current state of our economy, with stores closing down, businesses shutting down, someone can have it all one day and the next day they can have nothing. And this drives people to do things that they would have never thought they had to do before. And this is becoming the reality of a lot of people in the world today. So more businesses would be locking up items, unfortunately. But is there a bigger plan? Is there a bigger plan? From Happy Grandma for Ruth P. Shout out to you as always. One day people will take the time to research and find out America was sold to other countries years ago. Mainstream media is causing division, so people won't seek the truth. So if you go ahead and think about it, are we really in debt? When we're sending other countries money, are we paying someone else's debt off? Think about it. Think about it. Because how is it that we're always sending money off? And speaking of money, while we're on this subject, a lot of people have been complaining that their taxes are extremely lower this year than any other year, even before all of the laws and bills that have been put into place for the taxes to be higher over the past 2 years. Even before that, somebody said this is the lowest tax return that they received in about 5 years. It's crazy. I ain't no financial expert, but I know the money is moving kind of funny. Where's it going? So Zepcha did come through and share more and more items are enclosed and locked. This is happening nationwide, not just in urban areas. I swear we need to get rid of any government. It is causing so much harm. Thank you, Zepcha, for sharing that in the comments. Ebony Black, thank you so much for coming through again. So the most disturbing point is the cost of living. Y'all, the cost of living is ridiculous. It's not keeping up with inflation. A lot more and more people are not making it. They're not making ends meet. They're not bringing home half of what needs to be brought home in order to stay afloat. And this all goes back to what? Theft. Why is theft so high right now? People can't afford things. It sucks, but people honestly just can't afford things. Don't get me wrong. People steal out of stupidity and just because, and of course for a quick come up. But you got that small percentage of people who really just can't afford things. It sucks. It's still wrong, but it's the truth. Fritz0616, thank you again for coming through to the comments, Barbara. So there is a reason this is happening. The elites know we are overpopulated. So what better way to control it? Knowing we all have to eat. Wouldn't surprise me if this is a lot more foods than Quaker Oats. So we were talking about that huge issue with the Cheerios and the Quaker Oats. Quaker Oats had a major recall. With the Cheerios, there's something in there that's saying, oh my gosh, my memory, guys, I know. There's something in there that's causing issues with fertility and have caused issues with fertility. And they're saying over 80% of Americans have this issue. All right, so here it is. I had to go get my mind on right, y'all. So around 80% of Americans have been exposed to the plant pesticide Chlormicide, which causes fertility and growth issues in animals, it says, but it's been found in humans as well. So according to a new study published on Thursday, though other studies found it caused no effect on fertility and the environmental protection, now they're saying, agency said, there is no adverse risk in humans. That's what they're saying. But then they wound up coming out saying, oh, well, yeah, it caused major fertility problems. So they're kind of back and forth, but it's definitely something that's been brought up. All right, so Zefcha checking back in from the Detroit area. Went grocery shopping today, 222.24. Sell items were available. The ad did come out yesterday. But the frozen aisle had major gaps. A dozen eggs were $1.89. The bread aisle needed to be restocked. And toilet paper was nearly empty. Two cashiers said they had noticed that people were buying toilet paper like it was a shutdown again. And the cereal was low too. So thank you for sharing those current shortages and concerns with us. I've also noticed lately when I do go in the grocery stores, the frozen food section have been pretty darn low. In the toilet paper situation, paper products in general, the prices are still going up with paper products in general. And as far as toilet paper, I did notice gaps with toilet paper in places like Walmart and recently BJ's as well. BJ's did not have as much toilet paper stacked as they typically do. So thank you for sharing what's going on in Detroit. And as far as this whole trucker boycott thing with New York City, some people are saying that it's all a setup. It's a setup, but Norm says, but MSM says the boycott isn't a real thing. That the truckers have done a whole 180 on the issue. You know, I haven't heard much about what's going on over there. If any of you heard any update on that, let us know in the comments down below. So Pink Piglet Parker did say, I don't believe that this is a genuine trucker movement over Trump. Sounds more like a war on Americans. Ding, 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 ding. That is the bell that's being rung. If you just think about it. Thank you so much for sharing that in the comments. All right, let's go ahead and share Shauna's comment before we head into just a few reports. So Shauna did go ahead and share, I'm from NYC. My husband is an OTR trucker and has been for the last 6 years. Biden is crippling the trucking industry and logistics in general. Our nation runs on diesel and depends on our truckers to deliver and supply the entire country with everything we need and enjoy. There is not anything that we use, have, love, need, and want that doesn't come through at the starting point through our truckers first. The Biden administration continues to buy into the trucking industry and implement regulations and policies that continue to take shots below the belt and place drivers in worse positions. And that's something that Trump was able to fix and stop. Okay? Driving a truck in any cramped city is a huge challenge. But New York City, what we call the city, is a trucker's worst nightmare. It's anybody's worst nightmare. I hate driving to New York. I do. Every trucker we know can't stand, absolutely dreads driving there. But this is exactly why it's so important for people to start thinking and planning ahead. Because let's say these truckers was to say, yeah, we're taking this stand right now. That will cause a major strain on a lot of families, businesses, including our grocery stores. Yes. And then what? If you're not planning ahead, if you don't have items in your home, if you don't have your thing stockpiled, what would happen with a lot of families? It's crazy. Thank you, Shauna, so much for sharing that because it's true. It's definitely true. And yes, New York City, that's one of the worst places to be driving. Listen, I can only agree. So I can imagine even for the truckers, sitting in them long lines of traffic. The traffic be ridiculous in New York. But my people, please continue to prepare for shortages, price increases, something that we base the channel around during our walkthroughs. Staying prepared, being prepared, staying ready for the possibility of things leaving the shelves and not coming back. Not being able to afford items the next shopping trip. We just never know. So this is why we continue to stay ready and get ready the best way that we can. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some of these reports. First of all, remember, guys, when we discussed Dollar Tree putting some items to $1.50, I see someone shared that they have these nice bowls at Dollar Tree, but it's not $1.25. It is $1.50. So there's the $1.50 item. All right, fam. So here's something that's used a lot. and also stored in some people's stockpiles. Some people have pounds and pounds of propane tanks stockpiled. So thousands of propane tanks are recalled due to it being a fire hazard. So thousands of propane exchange tanks have been recalled by Worthington Enterprise. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission announced on Thursday. So the recalled cylinders can leak gas and pose a fire hazard, y'all. So here's exactly what it looks like. So the recall affects about 146,160 tanks. So the EVAS 20-pound propane exchange cylinders. The cylinders have the model number EVAS M0859, a serial number beginning with a W and a date code of either 0623 or 0723 stamped on the collar. Also recalled the 20-pound ones. And here's another picture here. And it's actually showing a location of model number of, where it's recalled. There's the location of it, of these propane exchange cylinders. This is the 20-pound one, y'all. And they also have a QR code that you can scan just to locate the propane exchange retail locations. While the recall cylinders were first sold within AmeriGas label, consumers may have exchanged them with other propane distributors who would have placed their own branded label on them, guys. So consumers are urged to immediately stop using the recall propane cylinders, completely close the top valve, and return them to any AmeriGas propane exchange retail location for a free replacement. So you might want to go ahead and get rid of those because it's a fire hazard. So that is something serious. Consumers with questions can contact Worthington at their toll-free number 888-520-1304, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll go ahead and leave a link to this actually in the pinned comment down below for those of you who do need it. Check out this next one. So lab-grown meat to rice-grown meat. So they're saying rice-grown meat will offer a world of possibilities. So rice is rice. There's no way, shape, or form it can be meat. So a brand new lab-grown meat rice hybrid could offer a world of possibilities, it says. In a new study published in Journal Matter, Korean scientists detailed the alternative protein source that holds a much smaller carbon footprint than meat. So to create the food, the scientists grew animal muscle and fat. They grew animal muscle and fat cells inside of the rice grains. To do this, the scientists used biological scaffolds to create a cellular environment within the rice grains. That's what they're saying. Rice grains have pores, meaning they have many areas where the cells can be housed. The grain contains molecules that can support the growth of these animal cells. Sounds more like the lab-grown meat. It's like the same thing that they're doing with the cells of the lab-grown meat. They're taking animal cells and just growing them and expanding it, and it's expanding and it's expanding, and they're creating a lot of it. That's basically all they're doing. So to make the hybrid food, they surrounded the grain with fish gelatin to help the cells take to the rice. They then injected cow muscle and fat stem cells into the rice, leaving that exactly to cultivate for 9 to 11 days. It seems like it takes so much time put into making fake meat versus actually going out there and just buying the actual meat. Though it is expensive, I can imagine how expensive these projects are as well. But some people might be into it. So the finished beef rice product has a very low carbon footprint and a very low risk of setting off food allergies, according to the study. All right, so let's get down to the price. So it does say this hybrid food could also be a lot cheaper than regular beef. We know the price of beef have shot up like it's nobody business, just like that. So while beef can cost around $14.88 per kilogram, that's what it says. We've seen higher. This rice will cost about $2.23 per kilogram. We usually obtain the protein we need from livestock, but livestock production consumes a lot of resources and water and releases a lot of greenhouse gas. That's what they're saying. I know a lot of you are going to be like, that's just another way of them taking away the actual meat and doing their own thing. I didn't expect the sales to grow so well in a rice. Now I see a world of possibilities for this grain-based hybrid food. It could one day serve as food relief for famine, military ration, and even space food. Wow. I mean, but that's what they're saying. It says, imagine obtaining all the nutrients we need from cell-cultured protein rice. Same thing as cultivated meat. We're going to leave that article right there where it's at. If you want to know more about this one, it will be also in a pinned comment down below. This is going to be one of the items that takes a lot of people up out of here. Nobody knows the side effects of this stuff. And as always, who are the guinea pigs to these, to these little things that they're coming out with? It's typically us. Once it hit the market, we become the guinea pigs. Once we start buying it and they see people dropping like flies, then that's a check mark. Because that's something that they want to do anyway. We're going to leave this video right here where it's at. I want to thank you guys for coming along with me to our Saturday's news, comments, and reports. If you're new here and you enjoyed today's video and you stayed for this 21 minutes, all you have to do is subscribe. And if you've been here before, of course, thank you so much for coming back. This is Shauna, and I'm officially checking out from Moments with Us. Make sure that you all stay prepped, stay blessed, stay safe. Most of all, remain beautiful queens and kings. Until next time, y'all, I'm officially up out of here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.